Hello, everybody. It's Laura Victoria Ward. This is role play. And today we are going to do a little bit of head stuff. And then I think I'm really going to focus on head tail, spinal movement, lubrication, cerebrospinal fluid, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to try to not talk as much as I usually talk and let you guys just experience your own stuff and listen to your own bodies. But we'll see if that works because I tend to talk a lot while I'm teaching. So the other thing I want to say is in this class, by all means, at all times, do anything you want to do. So it doesn't have to be what I'm doing. It can be what I'm doing. Hey, Susan. Hey, Marie Christine. Just an FYI, I'm recording, but I'm recording speaker view and I'm spotlit, so you will not be videotaped. So we're going to start with the head thing. And I'm going to be working mostly head tail today, and or thinking with head tail as being like a primary plan. So even before we start, let's just take before we start, we're starting. We've already started. So before we really start in our soft start, let's just talk for 1 second about what the spine can actually do. And when I'm talking spine, I'm actually talking full head tail. So also including your head, even though not just the spinal cord. And a great way to think of the spine is as a river, a fluid system, as opposed to a column. And that is a Liz Cook idea that, I don't know, maybe she made it up, maybe other people have made it up too, but I love it. So thinking of that river of the spine as this fluid system, and that has all sorts of capacities of movement. So to think on a slightly more mechanical moment, we're just going to think of what the capacities of movement are. So we can actually lengthen our spine so we can get longer, and we can shorten that also. So we can move within the vertical dimension up and down. We can have lateral flexion, side, side, and we can also spiral and twist. And so those are our things. We can also arch and curl. So there's a few things. I think often, like mechanically, we don't talk about that lengthening so much, and I really want to not talk much mechanically, but just to throw it out there for ways of thinking about this. And then we can have any kind of combination of those things. So there could be like maybe an arch in one part while a contraction or a curl in another, and maybe it's spiraling and arching or laterally flexing. You can have all these combos of movement. So those are our possibilities to really play with today. But I want to start with our head. And before we start with our head, taking your hands together and just rubbing them together. So you're sort of creating heat and energy. You might say the fire element of you, the heat of being human, and this sort of energy. And let's take one hand on the top of our head and the other one either low down on your pubic bone or on your tailbone in the back. I'm actually going to go tailbone. So depending on whether you want to wake up the front or the back of your body, but really thinking of that deep channel inside, just one hand on the bottom, one hand on the top, close your eyes and just breathe and feel into your own body. Seeing what is in there today. And what I tend to notice is as soon as I shine my light of awareness on anything that I see, then it starts to shift and change. And you can let your hands just drop away, but feel into that central channel, that head-tail channel, for a couple of breaths. Allowing your body to sort of breathe itself. So you don't have to do much work. It's just inhaling and exhaling. Your body knows what to do. You can actively or passively participate with that breath. You can just watch it, or you can kind of invigorate it, or you can calm it and slow it. And then we'll take it one layer deeper and do the theta breath. So it's a continuum breath, although I've also encountered it in other systems. And it is tongue behind your teeth with a soft S or a soft TH sound, or you could move that. So if I move it and change it from the TH to this, there's kind of more action in my tongue. That's just something to play with if that is interesting to you. But let's go with a couple of minutes of theta breath, or maybe 1 minute of theta breath. It might be 1, 2, 3, 4, taking resting breaths whenever you need it. And if the breath feels stressful in any way, just don't do it. Just breathe regularly and just take a minute of feeling into yourself. Eyes open or closed. Letting that one come to a rest. So when we slow down our breathing, we tend to turn to a more rest and digest, soothe, and settle parasympathetic state, which is a great place to process, which is where our body processes our digestion, our sleep, all those things where we come into that processing and allowing ourselves to negotiate what has happened so that we can move forward. So I feel like that's a super important thing and not so valued in our culture. And also, I'm such a speed demon when I teach that slowing down and staying slow is a real challenge. So I'm just working at that, which is funny because it shouldn't be work. So I want to move into this cranial thing. So I'm just going to show you with my hand the type of movement that I'm going to do. And we're all going to do it, just touching. It's like you're making a little circle. Now you can see I'm not really digging in to my skin, like I'm not pushing in. I'm just kind of tree frog fingering my skin and making small circles. So from our little tree frog small circles, we're going to do that like on our faces and on our heads. Now you may feel like, oh, I want to get in there, or, oh, that's too much. I want to be even lighter, or I just want to hold it. So these are all the possibilities. And I think I'm going to start here in just like sort of mid head. And I'm just going to start with little soft, gentle circles, and then moving them outward towards my ears. So I'm finding sort of the center of my midline, and I'm gentle circling, moving it out and away. And I'm going to do like 3, hey Georgina, 3 sets of that. You could take longer, you could go slower, but I'm going to start with that. And then once I've done it a couple times, I'm going to get into this, slow it down a little bit and get into the skin right around my ears. Like I'm in the, just behind my ears, really soft and gentle. And that's going to take me down to sort of the base of my cranium. And I'm going to go back in towards center down there and move back out. So I'm just going to kind of go in and out from there. Just coming from my sternocleidomastoid, this big bandy muscle, but really light and gentle. So we're not trying to give ourselves like a deep muscular massage or anything like that. We're just trying to move the tissue around a little bit on our head. I'm going to have that come to just behind my ears here and do little pulls in under my chin, relaxing my neck and jaw and tongue. And then I'm going to take it back to the midline, and I'm going to travel up back to my little circles, up the middle, and we're going to come over the top of the head with that, coming up and over. We're going to get to rolling on the floor soon. And I'm going to keep starting from the bottom and going to the top. If you want to go top to the back, you can, but for some reason today for me, it's feeling better just to go in this direction. Yeah, and then I'm just going to get the little soft, gentle patter like rain of the dragons going through the forest. I'm just going to wake up the rest of my head with that. And then I'm going to come into here and circle again, but soft. So I'm not trying to go deep. I'm just trying to stay on the surface. Yeah, and if you want to come around to your face, your eyes, now I'm going to let you free flow, whatever you need to do. Maybe your arms are tired and you're finished. Around your mouth, eyes, whatever you need, in whatever way feels good. Like we just need to give ourselves some attention sometimes. And coming towards an end of that. And when you have come towards an end, just shake it out. Shake, 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 shake it out your hands. Soft and easy in your spine. Let it go. And we're going to go down to laying on the floor and play with the spinal movement. So we can lengthen, we can spiral, we can wave, we can arch and curl. And I think I'm just going to put on music and let you free flow this. You can look at my movement anytime you want, but I think I'm not going to talk that much. But thinking about like being like a sea creature. So you're letting your body, and you can have as much padding as you want. Like the hard floor is great for me because I've spent a lot of time doing this, so I can really feel into that. But if you even wanted to do this on your bed, that would be fine. Bed, couch, whatever, anywhere where you feel like you can be comfortably held. And we're just going to release into gravity. And I am going to add music for this. So we'll start off with the Anthony birth intro long version, which Georgina and I have danced to a bunch.
Dawn of religion.
Oops.
God was a woman. God was a woman.
Oops, that's not what I was trying to play. But it's true. All right, taking it down to the floor and allowing yourself to move in any way that feels good to you. Ripples, waves. Waking up the head-tail connection. You can allow this to go out. If you need to reach out into fingers and toes and go like core distal, by all means do that. Or keep it small, whatever you want, whatever feels good, supportive, and nourishing in your body. It could be totally different. You might need to stand up and dance around. That is fine too. Like really take this for yourself. Maybe like you're traversing the inner body in a way that you've never traversed it before. So feeling into it as if it's brand new for the first time, feeling into what's possible. Allowing the gravitational pull of the earth to support you, holding you, supporting the tissue in your body. notice that the whirlpools and the eddies, all the possibilities of that spinal river moving out into your body, sort of as your nervous system, also as fluids move. Asking into your own body, like, what does it need? What would serve you the most right now? What would feel delicious? Maybe it's stillness. Or maybe it's a lot of movement. And now for something a little bit different, we're just going with Lady Emptiness. I'll turn it down slightly. Another thing to think about are just internal spirals, like those whirlpools and eddies, like water, fluid, spiraling. And then another thing that I just thought of was like reaching out and then like recoiling back into yourself. So like radiating outward and coming back in. Not recoiling in a bad way, but recoiling in a good way. Maybe it's not the best word, but I like it. Yeah, giving yourself permission and space in whatever way feels good and interesting. Doesn't have to look good. It can be super weird. Let yourself get lost in whatever you're exploring. And sort of let all of the cultural and social and familial conditioning that's held on your body, let it just fall away. Let it drop off. There is no need to be embodied in a way that is supporting someone else's idea of you. You can start to find your own embodiment that supports your own sort of life force, maybe even not even your own idea of you, but sort of your aliveness. The feeling with this song may go to something really weird. Oh yeah. Oh, don't you love that? My playlist is just so on top of things. So let's bring it back in and come back together and just finish. I know the time goes so fast. We have 6 minutes left, but let's finish with laying on your back if you want. You can finish in stillness, seated, laying on your back, on your belly, on your side, any way that feels comfortable. But coming back into maybe a few breaths with just the idea of the river and the fluidity of your system. So like your whole system, this alive fluid, I want to say pulsating with life energy. As things move through, blockages fall away and are cleared, even if that's just in your imagination. Like we don't even know what they are in there. What are those blockages? Who knows? But giving yourself permission and freedom. And if micro movement arrives in that, then feel free to go for it. If that is, yeah, because like stillness is sometimes a challenge for me. And so if I have to hold still, that puts attention pattern. So if I allow myself the capacity to move a little bit, it's easier for me. So we really want to keep moving towards ease. If stillness is easier, do that. Imagining the fluid system. And there's actually a lot of fluid systems in your body, but that those systems, your cerebral spinal fluid, your blood flow, your lymphatic, your glymphatic, all those things are working in harmony, coherent body. Putting the idea into your mind, into your body, into your cells, into your tissue, and into your fluids. And I just want to say resting into a sort of friendly place with yourself. So you're resting into harmony with yourself, whatever that means to you. Allowing yourself to become curious about sensation and then allowing it to be fluid. Good. So I am actually going to end that with the recording, but I'm going to stay in the room with you guys and we'll just talk. So I am going to stop recording. And anybody who showed up and did this, bravo, maybe take a few more minutes of quiet time with yourself.